live now. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Country. I'm sorry, Good Morning MontCo. That was our name, Good Morning Country, but we're now Good Morning MontCo. Today we're celebrating all things Caribbean, and if it's August coming up, starting tomorrow, it's going to be all things emancipation in the Caribbean. Today, our guest, the Honorable Christopher Chaplin. He's the Honorary Consul for Philadelphia of Jamaica here in Philadelphia. And my second guest is Vincent Heath. He's the co-chair of the Team Jamaica Pickle here in Philadelphia. So before we get started, I'd like to take a brief break here for one of our sponsors. In the meantime, please like and share, and we will be right back.
Are you dealing with estate or loan documents? Perhaps an international business? Welcome to Paris Mobile Notary, your solution for notary services 24/7, 365. At Paris Mobile Notary, we put customer service first, coming to you for all your notary needs, including apostille, authentication, document delivery, I-9 verifications, power of attorney, prenup agreements, affidavit, oath of office, identity verifications, and so much more. We proudly serve the Montgomery County, Bucks, Delaware, Chester, and Philadelphia counties, and we can't wait to work with you. So contact us today for your next signing at www.parismobilenotary.com or call us at 610-825-3300.
Awesome. We are back. Today we are honored to be joined again by the Honorable Christopher Chaplin and Mr. Vincent Heath. Mr. Chaplin, thank you for joining us. Jamaica celebrates 63 years of independence this year. Can you share with us how the Philadelphia's Jamaican community is marking this occasion and what independence means to you personally and to us in the diaspora here?
Thank you, Teresa, and good morning to both you and your viewers. It's a pleasure to be on. It's my first time on your program, so I'm looking forward to a fantastic conversation. I've been in place since 2019 as appointed by the government of Jamaica in April of 2019, and I've had a fantastic experience with folks like your other guest, Vincent Heath, as well as a great number of Jamaicans in the Philadelphia area. I'm sure you know that Jamaicans are very patriotic people, and we always remember our home country. And so, as you mentioned, we're celebrating our 63rd year of independence, and it has been a tremendous ride. Our country, certainly in the last few years, has turned around its economy and is looking pretty good. Inflation is down. The crime is actually trending down as well this year. Our debt to GDP has gone from in the 140% to in the 60s, and so we've been held up as a role model for how to run an economy properly. So I'm very proud to be Jamaican, and if you talk to any Jamaican, they'll say the same thing. In terms of the community here in Philadelphia, the last numbers I saw is that we have officially about 30,000 first generation Jamaicans in the Philadelphia area. I think it's probably more than that. Is second generation, their parents are Jamaican. A lot of them really identify with Jamaican, especially the music and food. In terms of the activities we plan during August, every year we celebrate independence with a flag raising. And our independence is August 6th, 1962. This year we celebrated on August 8th at the North April of City Hall. city of Philadelphia. So if you make it there, it starts at 3 o'clock. I'm sorry, it starts at 2 p.m., goes till 3, and then from 3 to 4 p.m., we'll have a reception upstairs in the mayor's reception room. So I'm excited and looking forward to it. We always have a good time. I'm hoping for a great turnout, and I hope to see you there. The other activity that I'm aware of as it pertains to Jamaica is and every year we also have this organized by Donahue Bailey and Bishop Bartley this year, is Jamaica's Independence Day Church Service Celebration, which takes place on Sunday, August 10th, 2025, starting at 4 p.m. at the Grace Community Church of God of Prophecy, which is located at 4982 Master Street in Philadelphia. So we're looking forward to those two events. Looking for a great turnout, and love to take any questions or clarifications that you may have.
Yes, I do. In regards to the flag raising ceremony next Thursday, was it?
Next Friday.
Next Friday, okay. No reservations are not required for the reception, correct? Anyone can just come on upstairs.
Right, that is correct. Now, the one thing you must realize is that the City Hall is a secure facility. So you will need some form of ID to enter the facility. But reservations not required. Just come out and enjoy. We'll have some good Jamaican finger food there, and I'm sure our volunteer Sandra here, Carr, is a person running it, and she's always done a tremendous job over the years.
Yes, and her food is always great. So,
yes.
If you come to the flag raising ceremony, please know that you're required to have your state issued ID or driver's license to enter City Hall for the reception.
Right. So, but you can come to the flag raising without an ID because it's outside, it's public property, so you're welcome there. We're scheduled to have a number of guests. Somebody from the city, the Office of the City Representative will be there. I believe Jezreel Jones herself might attend. And then we'll have Alan Joinville from the Office of the new director will be there, but Alan will be the person presenting, speaking on behalf of the Office of Immigrant Affairs. And we'll have a number of other guests. Obviously, Jana Blackwell and Stan Stroud are always there, and then Michelle Tullanil, who's part of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, should also be there. Awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, and all are welcome.
Yeah, I'm always excited to attend that, especially when there's a reception following it.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. And I'm looking forward to that too, because I think last year for your flag raising ceremony, because of the inclement weather, we have to move it inside. So I'm praying for perfect weather for you this year.
Yes, well, we moved it inside and we had a tremendous time. We had a great turnout, and everybody enjoyed the ceremony. We did the flag raising outside, but the ceremony itself we moved inside, and it was tremendous.
Oh, okay. I have another question. So, how does Jamaica's story of independence resonate with today's first generation of here in the U.S.?
Well, I think Jamaica has demonstrated a path not only for first generation in the U.S., but for the entire Caribbean as to how to develop and grow an economy after independence. I mean, as I mentioned, certainly in the last few years, we have developed to the point where we're a poster child for running a country, running an economy. In terms of first generation, I've found, and I have two sons, I've found that the first generation Jamaicans identify most with music and with food, and certainly with the language as well. I remember having dinner with somebody from Sudan, and she knew some of the Jamaican bad words. So our language, our culture is just so strong. I would argue that Jamaican culture is one of the strongest in the world right now. It's very attractive, and people just take to it. And I've found that certainly this year, coming in from late last year, the number of first generation Jamaicans, their parents are Jamaican. I'm sorry, second generation Jamaicans, their parents are Jamaican, who applied for Jamaican citizenship has jumped. I'm getting a lot of people calling in and submitting applications for Jamaican citizenship. So Jamaica right now is on the up, very positive energy. I think we're getting a lot of looks in terms of not only first and second generation Jamaicans, but also people from other countries are realizing that Jamaica has a tremendous story to tell, and it's a very attractive story.
Yes, that's one thing that I admire about the Jamaican diaspora community is that how strong you are and impactful. And
Mhm.
you're, to me, in my view, you're like the model for other islands to really expand um, connect with the diaspora community. Because no matter where you go in this world, there's always a Jamaica flag, always. And it,
Yes, I think you're right. And look, other countries are just as patriotic. I think what we've managed to do, certainly going back years with the Jamaica, the advisory board, and it went into the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, is to institutionalize this relationship. I think in previous years we had really good people who did well, but once they departed, the structure didn't kind of fell apart. But now by institutionalizing the relationship between Jamaica and its diaspora, as well as the second generation Jamaicans, we're building a formula and a structure that can continue even when a particular representative has departed. So I think that has been very successful. I think there are areas that we still need improving on. But overall, I'm proud. I remember when it first came in, there was a lot of resistance to the idea. And I remember I was one of the persons who I had to go around to various groups and just talk about it. And I think, again, there are areas that we need to improve on. But overall, it has been a tremendous success. And hopefully, it's one of those successes that other Caribbean countries and their diaspora can emulate and build that relationship between their country and their diaspora. Certainly, I know, Trinidad St. Kitts has a fairly strong relationship, and there are other countries. But I think the difference is that we have institutionalized it, and that is very positive.
institutionalize it with a real formal structure, and that's great.
Yeah.
And also speak briefly to the first diaspora conference you had here in Philadelphia. If you can
Yes, I
speak
was.
briefly, I know you were not sponsor of that, but if you can speak to it briefly and the success that it had here.
Oh, sure. I thought it was well organized. I attended all 3 days, and in fact, all 3 full days. And I remember the first morning, I was the third person there in the room, ready for it to start. I thought it was well organized, had a lot of good content, with the ability to build a lot of strong relationships. I think I especially liked the immigration piece. That was tremendous. I also, on the third day, the Saturday, I also liked the presentation by Blue Maho Capital, and they're looking to build a ETF, a electronically traded fund that deals with Jamaica. So I thought overall I was very impressed. It went very well. It was great to meet a lot of people I hadn't seen for a long time, as well as meeting a lot of new faces and a lot of new people. And I especially like that there were a number of young people there. Wish we could have had more, but I think when folks like me move on or retire, etc., I think there's a good cadre of young people who can take their reins. I'm thinking about folks like Dr. Kamisha Simpson, tremendous at the Ignite Jamaica Fund. I'm thinking of folks like Alexis Wilby over at the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce. So I think these young folks are going to hopefully build on the structure that we've set up, and improve it and develop it even more. So I thought overall tremendous conference, and I'm looking forward to hopefully another one next year.
Awesome. It was great. Thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing, Chris. So,
Sure.
if you're just joining us today, we're talking about Caribbean Emancipation Day that comes up on August 1st, and then Jamaica's independence, Jamaica's 63rd independence, which is coming up on August 6th. We have the flag raising coming up next Friday, the 8th. On Saturday, we have a fundraising gala that's coming up. And to speak to that, we're going to hear from the co-chair of Team Jamaica Pickle. But before we get to Mr. Vincent Heath, we'll take another brief break for another message from one of our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Are you dealing with estate or loan documents? Perhaps an international business? Welcome to Paris Mobile Notary, your solution for notary services 24/7, 365. At Paris Mobile Notary, we put customer service first, coming to you for all your notary needs, including apostille, authentication, document delivery, I-9 verifications, power of attorney, prenup agreements, affidavit, oath of office, identity verifications, and so much more. We proudly serve the Montgomery County, Bucks, Delaware, Chester, and Philadelphia counties, and we can't wait to work with you. So contact us today for your next signing at www.parismobilenotary.com or call us at 610-825-3300.
Welcome back. Team Jamaica Pickle plays a vital role in supporting our young Caribbean students when they come here during the pen relays. To date, you have sponsored thousands of students ever since you started that initiative here in Philadelphia. Mr. Vincent Heath, can you please share with us about you and the role of Team Jamaica Pickle here in Philadelphia?
Good morning to you, Ms. Paris, and thanks. And good morning to your audience. Thanks for having Team Jamaica Pickle. I'm just a representative here today, hoping to share some information with you and and take the opportunity to invite you to come and enjoy a gala, enjoy yourself with us this Saturday, August 2nd at the Hilton on City Line Avenue. Now, well, Team Jamaica Pickle is a group of community volunteers, and that's been doing this for 31 years, formalized through Mr. Erwin Clear and Blaine Studdart. Mr. Erwin Clear is a New York person, and Blaine Studdart is here locally. They got together and put together a group that primary intention is to host our athletes or ambassadors, as we refer to them as, that comes from the Caribbean here to Philadelphia each April to attend the annual pen relays. And it has been a wonderful endeavor from the start. I'll explain. Normally in the, I don't know if our other guest, Mr. Chaplin, he probably is aware, but prior to Team Jamaica Pickle, you had individuals like myself and others and different school alumni from Jamaica who used to at times host or sponsor some of these athletes when they come to stay at individual homes. But the playing field for that wasn't leveled. What I mean is some school has no connection in this area, no connection in the US at all. So when they come, they will be pretty much on their own trying to fend for themselves, which has presented itself with many, many challenges, transportation challenges, food challenges, housing challenges, and all the other things that they need to make them comfortable and just to make them only do what they're here to do, which is concentrate on the field and the track that they're doing. So Mr. Clear saw that on his visit here because he's like many Jamaicans and many Caribbean folks, we planned for the pen relays because it's a nice, warm village feeling within the stadium. And it's a nice feeling within the Philadelphia community, knowing that we have our athletes from all over the Caribbean representing quite well at the relays. So they put it together and said, no, we're going to put an organization and we will feed and make sure that each and every athlete never goes hungry, never feel uncomfortable, will always have a place where they can call home. And that's what we've been doing for 31 years.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Anna, tell me briefly, for in the past years, I've always volunteered at one of your host hotels. And
Yes.
last year, I think not this year, but last year was my first time ever coming down to the pen relays and seeing what the whole operation is like. Can you share with us, before we get to the gala a little bit more, what does it take to make this happen when it comes to volunteers? Because it's driven by volunteers.
Yes, it is driven by volunteers. And but with the mercies of God, we have been able to survive over the 30 years from dedicated people who have given their time and their monies and even sometimes step outside of their families to make this happen because they see a need. And it's all, like we call it, a labor of love. We refer to our event as a labor of love because that's what it is. We know, coming from the Caribbean and other countries that attend the pen relays, economically, a lot of people will not be able to afford some of the necessities just to participate. And one of them necessities is just traveling to and from, their housing to the field. And I'll give you an example. When someone is staying, and I'll say myself, if they're staying at my house and I have a job, I have to get to and from work at a certain time. So if I'm not there, hosting someone becomes a challenge because then they're going to have to fend for themselves, which sometimes it does not work out too well. And the pen relays is a very structured system. 1 second late and you're out of that race. Once it's called and you're not in line ready to go, you're out. So that's where Team Jamaica Bigger comes in, and that's where each and every volunteer that comes out to support the athletes and to do it with Team Jamaica Bigger serves very well and understand dynamics of what it takes to make the organization run the way it is and take it seriously. And it is run like a structured organization. That's actually, you would think that these people are being paid, but no one is being paid. Actually, people pay into it just to see that it's run. And I'm not saying force paid into it. They just want to make sure that the system running. Because, for instance, this year, and you have seen it, we were hosting over 649 athletes there, and they're coming to the palestra. And we're moving that many persons from hotels to the field and to the palestra to make sure that they can get there on time, have a nice meal, get prepared, go warm up, and get to the tracks and get back to the hotels. And it's a challenging endeavor and has to be laid out in a way that it's just 1, 2, 3, each movement calculated in such a manner that the time is always attested and accounted for, and that they never miss a race, and that they're never left anywhere on the road without having a chaperone or someone from within our organization who can be an immediate contact. And when I say Team Jamaica Bigger, let me be clear. This year, when we talk about the gala, as you have on your screen there, we have Miss Jacqueline Farley, who has been a member with us for a long time. And Jackie is not, she's a Caribbean person, is not a Jamaican. But you cannot tell her that. So it's not just about Jamaica. I know some people get hung up on the word Jamaica. It was the Team Jamaica Bigger came out of an idea by a Jamaican. But we do not turn away any child from no matter which country it comes from. As long as they showed up at the tent, if there's food, they're going to have a meal. Okay, that we don't take away from that. And over the years we have included Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, Guyana, and other countries that have come to the pen relays yearly and start to participate. So we welcome everyone, and as long as they come sign up with us, we're ready for them. And our volunteers have been strong, have been purposeful, and have been certainly determined in every aspect of the way to make sure that these athletes, when they're here, are well taken care of.
And I can attest to that because my native country, St. Kitts and Nevis, benefited from your hospitality last year when we entered Pen Relays for the first time, and then again this year. And you really do an amazing job. And one thing that teenagers that type need is that they need to eat, and you provide them not just with the logistical stats of them being there, but you provide them with a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, nutritious, because it needs to be that way for their sports. And then you have on staff also medical assistance to be there for them should anything of that sort come up. And you were also there again for St. Kitts. On behalf of my country, I'd like to say thank you for that. Thank you also. In reference to the gala, I see, how do you select your awardees who were being awarded this year?
Oh, for this year awardees, there are people who have been very involved, not just with Team Jamaica, but within the communities that they reside and in various levels. And we have, for instance, Miss Andrea Lawful. She is a popular podcaster here that talks about community needs and more wants, not just wants and needs, but operations within the Philadelphia area. You also have the young lady, Miss Thorpe, who is from out of the Maryland area. She was, I think, 2 years ago selected to Teacher of the Year here in the U.S. and as a lady from Jamaica who is in the educational field, and she's actually a master of education, and she is one of our awardees for this year. And now, good Miss Jacqueline Farley, who has been a volunteer with us, Team Jamaica Bickle, and we just want to recognize her for the strong, good, consistent work that she has done and encourage her to continue, but to say thanks to her for the encouragement. All three people are well deserved. And we're also this year, I think we're celebrating along with Jamaica Tourist Board their 70th anniversary, who has been one of our sponsors, strong sponsors, among many others, including CFD, who has been Caribbean Food Delights, who has been our first sponsor and continues to be with us since day one, through the auspices of the founder of CFD, Mr. Vincent Osan, and the company is now run by his daughter, Sabrina Osan, and among others too, like Toro Isles and a lot of other restaurants and stuff. And kudos, I must say, because I don't think we know how robust the effort of the business community here in Philadelphia and New York has been in supporting Team Jamaica Bickle by supplying food and other amenities and donations so that we can set up what we set up. And just to say, to your audience, just imagine we're feeding 649 students, and if on average, if you've been to a Caribbean restaurant, you're looking at around $12 per plate for just some food. Just do the maths and you'll see what we're talking about in terms of raising funds to make sure that each and every child and each and every student, along with their chaperones and coaches and other staff members that come to them, are well taken care of and well fed.
Awesome, thank you. How can one get tickets for Saturday's gala?
Well, on the flyers that you see there, and it's a little bit for me, you can reach out and we'll still have tickets available. You can also call me direct at 215-432-1421 and to get a ticket for the gala. And we welcome you. We are asking you to come out and celebrate, as this year we celebrate our heritage, which is Jamaican's heritage. And saying Jamaica doesn't mean you can't come, Miss Paris, because I anticipate seeing you again. You have always been a part of our organization and always been a part of what we do. And you like to party and, like we say, come have some fun and listen to some good Caribbean music and some heavy-duty reggae music. And, there's something there for everyone, because we welcome everyone to come in the room and have a good time. So, and of course, our host, Miss Janelle Burrell from Channel 3, will be our host this year, and looking forward for her again. She did a wonderful job the last year she was there, and I see many people from all over the Caribbean. But listen, it's a nice event for anyone who wants to come out and have some clean fun, matured fun, and just get together and say hi to each other and know that whilst we're celebrating as Team Jamaica Bickle, we're still celebrating as one Caribbean people inside of this room whenever we're there. It's a nice warm area. The feel is great. It's electric, and it's fine. City Line Avenues light up when we're there, and that's what we do to make sure that we can raise and continue to raise funds for our athletes or ambassadors when they get here each April. And I might also add that that's not the only event that we do. We have also, which is our annual brunch, which is in March of each year. And then we'll have a reception in April prior to the relays. And of course, we have the relays in April, last Saturday. And then, also there's a gala in New York, which is much bigger than this one in Philadelphia, that Philadelphia goes up and participates each year to help within the structuring and laying out and, just the overall thing. So we learn from each other. So we have two cities working together on one project. You have people in New York working there, making sure that things run well, and here in Philadelphia to make sure things run well. And we feed off of each other and get ideas from each other, along with the public, which I earlier mentioned, who has a robust support for Team Jamaica Bickle, because they do see the need for such a support of our athletes. And we thank them tremendously for believing in what we do, and thank them on behalf of the athletes for the support that they give.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, there might be some who may not be in Philadelphia or New York, maybe in Boston. How can they donate to Team Jamaica Pickle? Can they scan that code, or they can go to your website just to make a donation, correct?
Yes, you can just go to the website and make a donation via Give Lively, or you can scan the QR code that's on your behind you there, or just go to teamjamaicabickle.com or .org it is now, and you will see us there. You can always get some more information from there. And once again, you can call me as one of the co-chairs, 215-432-1421 for further information. And for tickets, also we have a few more tickets left for the gala on this Saturday, and I'm asking you to say, come on over, just come on down, have a good time this weekend. Want to go out and just have a nice sit-down dinner, and then a nice area to go dancing and listen to some good Caribbean music. Participate in one of our raffle, or just sit and have a good conversation with someone from anywhere across the community, and of course some Jamaicans in the room, and it's fun. And while you're at the City Line Hilton, you just look across the way, and we have a nice water layout over there. So it's a nice, relaxing place to come by and have a good evening, have a great time.
It is. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your Team Jamaica Pickle with us today, Mr. Heath. I see we're going to take a quick break and come back. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mr. Hamilton Daley. He's an attorney out of UK, and he will be talking about the Caribbean movement that he has initiated a couple of years ago. And so we'll take a brief moment. If you're just joining us, our guest today, we're discussing all things Caribbean, Jamaica's independence, and Caribbean emancipation. We will be right back after these words.
My name is Blaine Pierce. I'm from Norristown, Pennsylvania. Graduate of Delaware State University, sports science major, member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. We are located in Norristown, Pennsylvania, 1725 Markley Street, in the Astor Shopping Center, right next to the zoo. We handle one-on-one personal training, group and fitness classes, strength and conditioning classes, kickboxing training, boxing training. We also have yoga classes and massage therapy and movement therapy. My passion has always been to help others become their best self, stronger physically and mentally.
Okay, we are back, and we're now bringing to the stage my friend from the UK, Mr. Hamilton Daley.
Oh, thank you for that.
Hello, Hamilton. How are you? Gotta take off my glasses so I can see you clearly. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us today from the UK. Tell us about a brief history about yourself, Mr. Daley, and your movement, Caribbean Day.
Okay, well, I'm a lawyer in the UK, and I'm a lawyer in Jamaica. Lawyer in St. Kitts, St. Lucia. 2007, I initiated an idea called Caribbean Day, which was to join the strands of all the Caribbean interests globally on one day. We coined it Caribbean Day because that was the common factor. Everyone who had Caribbean heritage was supposed to join in on this one day. Because like a rope, the strength comes from the strands that join it. And that was the concept, that if we join on one day, given all the things that make us different, the flags, the races, the distance in the and the sea, the idea was to find one common denominator that would join all the Caribbean and all the strands to make us strong. Similar to St. Patrick's Day, it was intended to be a day where, regardless of where you are located, whether it was in Canada or in London where I am now, or in the US or across the Caribbean, this one day would be synonymous, similar to St. Patrick's Day, and the power of it was to concentrate commerce, retail, tourism, and things that would give a boost annually to the Caribbean. I would also identify the Caribbean as a international destination, and also globally, at least one day of the year, focus the world's mind on the Caribbean. And we understand that there's lots of different groups in lots of different countries that do their own thing on the Caribbean with the Caribbean interests. What we are proposing is a united effort. St. Patrick's Day does it, and they have a global economy on one day of 15 billion. You have Christmas Day, global economy of 400 billion. You have Valentine's Day, global economy over 40 billion. So what we're talking about is not what we're doing in different various places and diverse places across the world. What we're talking about is joining the Caribbean, all the strands that exist to join on one day, to make our people great. At the moment, when I was a child growing up in the Caribbean, Jamaica specifically, and when I came to the UK, I was surprised that Emancipation Day didn't get any mention at all. No, in fact, the second generation of Caribbean people in the UK didn't know. If you told them about 1st of August, they didn't know what you're talking about. What's the significance of that? Now, we've spent at least the last 10 years promoting the 1st of August. Whatever you call it, every Caribbean person should identify that there is a date of special significance in our Caribbean calendar. And that's what the effort has been, to make it significant, regardless of the name. Our label is Caribbean Day. If it's Emancipation Day, but recognize it. It's unacceptable not to have any heritage at all until you come into an adopted country through immigration, and whatever they do, you do. So that's fine. That's fine. But something that we can travel with from whichever island we are, we can travel with this, and it still remains Caribbean Day. And the significance of it is that we ask that you observe the 1st of August as Caribbean Day. That's the difference. And there is power in unity. Well, we don't have to make the case that unity is strength, but we don't have that strength. We do have different pockets of strength, but the idea is you join them together as strands and make them strong. And we only hold it for one day. One day of the year. This is absolutely doable, and it's generational. It has you across the globe, people in their various communities. But the impact of that is that it draws in interest. It creates commerce for Caribbean restaurants, Caribbean business. It's free advertising for the Caribbean on a global scale. It's what this generation's contribution is to uplifting our people as a community. And when I say Caribbean, I am talking about Caribbean in all its glories, in all its histories. And it should be, and Jamaica's motto is out of many one people, and certainly across the Caribbean, that is how everyone lives, regardless of what the motto is. And we are a mixed bag, a melting pot, and everybody respects. We could demonstrate and show the world how the world should live. We could set that example. Certainly, Martin Luther King Jr. had the opinion that one of his favorite places to go was Jamaica because of how the culture's integrated there. So the concept is very simple. We are people who have rhythm, so we can't all step in the same rhythm. We just need to know what is the rhythm, what is the beat, and the beat is the 1st of August. the 1st of August is a significant day for the Caribbean, not just the English-speaking Caribbean, because the history of the 1st of August and Emancipation Day is that the Abolition of Slavery Act 1833 was passed in Westminster in the UK, and it applied across the British Empire, not just the Caribbean, but there was a concentration of slaves in the Caribbean, so it has a bigger impact. But the same 1st of August is also the Emancipation Day for Canada. But I don't necessarily observe it on that day. And it's only in 2021 that they started to recognize it properly in terms of they are accommodated by statutes and say, look, we're recognizing this as the Emancipation Day. I suggest that we don't need any other parliaments to necessarily pass laws to say what we should be recognizing. As a people, I suggest that we should identify what is important to us, and what is important to pass on to the next generation. And something as straightforward as a date that everybody, just like Christmas Day, just like Valentine's Day, just like St. Patrick's Day, can just identify and say, look, this is our thing, and this is what brings all of the strands, all of the efforts across that I know about. The efforts in New York, the efforts in Philadelphia, the efforts in Chicago, and the efforts in London. In 2018, they introduced something called Windrush. The problem I have with Windrush is named after a ship. And we can't be celebrating. The name is good, but it has other connotations as well. But it's the fact that there was a ship in 1948 that brought immigrants from the Caribbean to work in UK. And in 2018, they recognized that this was going to be called Windrush Day. Canada had Emancipation Day recognized in 2021. Belize started to recognize Emancipation Day in 2021 as well. What I am suggesting is that Caribbean people can be strong. They're respected for many different things across the globe. But strength is in unity. I'm not making the case that unity is strength, because everybody knows unity is strength. The United States is strong because of its United Kingdom, the United USSR, Union Soviet Republic. But it's the unity in the names that's tell you a story in itself, and unity is strength. The Caribbean people, at the moment, as beautiful as we are, we do lack that common unity day. We do that. We cannot. Emancipation Day only affects, the 1st of August only affects the former British Empire countries, the colonies. So it would affect all of the countries that were former colonies of Britain. But for instance, St. Martin or Cuba or US Virgin Islands, Dominican Republic, Haiti. Haiti is within CARICOM, but it wasn't affected by the 1st of August. But the 1st of August is a day that everybody can accept. This is the day we will move with. This is the day we can move to one beat on. This is a day we can bring all of the strands together that we pass on to the next generation. It's what this generation is responsible for doing. We've reached here where we are because of the backs of our ancestors. And there's emancipation, but no one volunteered for it. No one volunteered to be enslaved in the first place. So we don't have to necessarily adopt the name emancipation, but we have to accept the date as the birthday. People can change the name by deed poll. They cannot change the date of birth by anything. So you just had stuck with the date. We used to get asked why we're choosing the 1st of August. That's Emancipation Day. You can't touch the 1st of August. Well, that's exactly why we touch the 1st of August, because it's the day that we've accepted and we've made it ours. We don't adopt the name necessarily, But anybody, if emancipation works, that's fine. Just do something on the day to recognize, because it's that joined up action that's going to make the difference. It's the joint up effort. It's a simple process which has a great effect across our communities everywhere.
Great. So I hear you, and I understand that you are advocating for a global advocacy of all Caribbean nations, Caribbean islands, one day, August 1st. Knowing that in the diaspora, the Caribbean community, the Caribbean in the diaspora may not be able to do that because of culture and where we are. August 1st, we work and do other things. So we have to pivot to what works for us. Most of our events here, what I'm used to, what I know of, either the Sunday, the first Sunday, or the Saturday after August 1st. In the Caribbean, much like in the Caribbean, they celebrate it on August Monday. They have a lot of, in Nevis, for instance, they have Culturama. In Barbados, there's Popover, there's Carnival in Antigua, and they celebrate August Monday. How do you propose advocating that we have one recognition globally on August 1st?
Okay, thank you. And that's really a very good question. Because everybody does that on the 14th of February anyway. It's not legislated anyway. Everyone does recognize it's the 25th of December. It's not legislated anyway. St. Patrick's Day is not legislated anyway. It's a cultural recognition. It's not a holiday. We're not proposing to change any holidays. In some Caribbean countries, it's the first Monday. The holiday is the first Monday after the 1st of August. In some, it's the last Thursday before the 1st of August. The emphasis and the important difference here is that we have to move to one beat. And that's the important difference. The strength in the economy, the economy of this idea is that we move together. If we move in different strands and say, oh yeah, that's a great idea, but I've got to do this on this day. We're not asking for holidays. Friday, I will be with my family on Friday. We get together. This is our family get together day. We've made that. So it's not about birthdays. It's not about, some people are jovial witnessing my family. They don't celebrate birthdays or Christmas, but they will come out for Caribbean Day. So if my family, whatever the day of the week, we will congregate together. But next year it will fall on a Saturday. So it will work for us. It will work for everybody. Some people who can't come out for whatever reason will make the effort to come out. But it's not. We're not asking for legislation of it from anywhere. We're not asking for necessarily for politicians to lead on this idea. We're asking for people power. We're asking for people to lead. And people say, I do this on the 1st of August. Just like you will recognize 14th of February, whatever date falls on in the week, you will buy flowers or chocolates or do something to recognize. It won't matter. So it's the same idea, just like Black Friday. It'll fall where it falls. Normally it's on the last Thursday, I think, in November, but it'll fall where it falls. You just recognize it's something that we travel with as a community, something we pass down. It's something that you can say, well, I don't know what will happen in 100 years' time, but I know because of our discipline in this community to recognize something for ourselves. My grandchildren will be celebrating Caribbean Day in 100 years, and their children, because it's a practice. And it doesn't. One of the stories that me on Caribbean Day was in 2007 or 2007, I think it was the World Cup, Cricket World Cup. I was in the Caribbean at the time. I met a family of 3 Irish brothers that decided to meet up for Cricket World Cup. One of them was from the US, one of them lived in Canada, and one was from Ireland. Each of them had their boys with them, different ages, their sons, some grown men. But that year, I witnessed something what I thought was absolutely awesome, that they celebrated St. Patrick's Day in the Caribbean all together, and they'd been in different countries. And what struck me was that their family, wherever the family were, in the US or Canada or Ireland, they were also celebrating the same thing individually with the family that were local. What did my community have equal to that? We didn't have anything equal to that, but we had a start, we had a common denominator, we had a date that we could all agree was substantially significant enough to observe as being a foundation that we could all say, okay, this is important and this needs to be passed on. This needs to be a part of our heritage that we recognize. I'm suggesting that emancipation, I've sort of aired this idea that slavery lasted a definite period of time. The idea to celebrate Emancipation Day forever could take us to 1,000 years. So you would have, at some point, 200 years of slavery and 1,000 years of remembering it. I'm suggesting that with Caribbean Day, where it's a commercial possibility as well. It opens doors, it makes us a stronger community of people. Even though it's a day, you will end up planning for it, you're looking forward to it, and it helps commerce. It helps commerce. It is not a look back day, it's a look forward to. We look forward to Caribbean Day in my family.
I agree with that. Christopher, are you aware of a service that's going to be happening tonight, well, at midnight in Jamaica? I came across it some time ago, where Jamaica celebrates Emancipation Day from midnight of August 1st, 12 a.m. Are you familiar with that?
Not often, no. Not often, no.
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
Are you familiar with that?
Okay.
I've heard about it before, but I'm not too familiar with how it's structured or is executed.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. Mr. Daley, I got a documentary that Dr. Claire Nelson.
Yeah, Teresa, I apologize, but I have a 12 o'clock meeting, so I have to depart.
Yes,
Thank you so much for the
ahead.
invitation, and fascinating listening to your guests. So all the very best to you and your guests, all right?
Thank you. Bye, Chris.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Hamilton and Mr. Daley, there's a documentary that Dr. Claire Nelson has done for emancipation. Are you familiar with it? Are you familiar with Dr. Nelson, Dr. Claire Nelson out of Maryland?
Yes, I am familiar with her. She might be listening. She knows we've had exchanges, and similar to the.
Okay. Yeah, she might be listening to, but.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I do have you did answer my question. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Mr. Daley. Mr. Heath, do you have any questions for Mr. Daley? I didn't realize that you were from Jamaica, Mr. Daley.
Grew up in Jamaica.
So I'm good. I'm listening to Mr. Daley, and I'm fascinated by what you're saying. The idea never struck me before to see Emancipation Day being celebrated on the scale that you have just suggested. But my humble opinion with regards to that is one of the things that I do here in Philadelphia, which I'm located now, is the Caribbean Festival, and Miss Paris can attest to that we have each August, the third weekend in every August here, been going on for 39 years. And that Caribbean Festival encompasses over 15 different Caribbean islands that came together and is a structural group that execute this Caribbean Day Festival at Penn's Landing on the waterfront here in Philadelphia yearly, similar to what's happening in Canada when they have their great day up there for Caribbean Day. If that's something you could look into to say, that's a start. If you could find a way to say to these groups, is there any way, we can actually structure it in such a manner that we encompass everyone like that, to the suggestion that you said, that it doesn't matter where you are, just like that family that you talk about, doing the St. Patrick's thing. And we have done something similar to that here once in Philadelphia via Team Jamaica Bigger, where we had a new soccer event, and then it was podcasted or broadcasted similar to what we're doing now in different areas that we're doing it. And I like the idea, Mr. Hamilton. That's what I'm saying. I like the idea.
Thank you.
And as I do, and I would really wish that we'd have it, as you said, Mr. Daley, on August 1st. So let me share what we have going on here in Philadelphia on Sunday. This is an event that I started celebrating. When I reached out to you, you and I had some words about that back in the day. So this year is the 9th annual celebration, Caribbean Emancipation Day celebration. It's going to be held at Greater Glory Church of God, and this is going to be held on Sunday. If you're not local to Pennsylvania, to Philadelphia, you can watch the stream online and join the service. So this is our way for me. When I moved to Pennsylvania, I realized that in Philadelphia, let me be specific, we didn't celebrate Emancipation Day as opposed to how we did when I lived back in Hartford. So I started this 9 years ago at my church. And each year we go to a different church community to host this service. And it's a reflection, it's camaraderie, and of course, where Caribbean people gather, there is music and food. So this is what we do. But in what you're saying, I envision that on a global scale, we have all learned from COVID what can be done virtually. And I see that as that one day where we can all come together and convene to celebrate Caribbean Day, Emancipation Day, to celebrate August 1st as one people.
I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely. And that is the message. Everyone, everywhere, one day. If we have rhythm, we know we can move to a beat. We can do this. It's one day. It will be done before any legislator can have an opinion on whether we can do it, because we're doing it from the heart, and it's a grassroots movement.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for being my guest today. Thank you in the listening audience. Continue to like and share this video with your network. And for a brief recap, we have Emancipation Day, Caribbean Emancipation Day starting August 1st. We could celebrate for the whole month. On Saturday, we have the gala for Team Jamaica Pickle that sponsors the pen relays, fund the pen relay students that come in from the Caribbean. Over 650 students each year in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. And next year is Mr. Vincent, we need to talk about next year with the World Cup. How are we going to do that? Oh my gosh.
No, we're already putting things in place for next year as we speak. This thing continues in the background, so the Team Jamaica Bickel is always working at some point to make sure that when our athletes get here, they're well taken care of. And one of the things that we do, just like what we're going to be doing this Saturday, is the gala that we're having on the Hilton and City Line Avenue, celebrating our heritage, is a fundraising event. So that's why I'm inviting everyone to come out, so you can see where your money goes when you spend your money. So it's partying with a purpose when we do these things, is raising funds so that we can elevate our athletes. Listen, I don't want to drop names, but the fact is, we have the photograph. When Usain Bolt was 14 years old, he was here in Philadelphia. Okay, when he won at the Beijing, he came back the year after, and it's actually stopped the stadium when he stepped out on the track. I was at 38 and Spruce going back, and I could hear the roar of the crowd. That's 6 blocks away. I could feel the voices 6 blocks away when he came through. And all the athletes, over 75% of every athlete that come to the Penn Relay through Philadelphia has gone on to represent their countries respectively in the Olympics. So it's a big thing. We look at it as something small, but it's much bigger than we say, and that's a one wide village of encouraging and supporting our young people throughout the Caribbean.
Awesome.
So come on out on Saturday.
Okay, Mr. Daley, are you coming to Pennsylvania next year for the World Cup?
Well, not at the plan at the moment. It's not in the plans at the moment, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, all right. You don't have to worry about accommodation. We got you. Okay, all right. Mr. Heath, thank you so much for being with us today. Mr. Daley, thank you so much for joining us from the UK. What's the weather like over there now?
Typical British weather. It'll change in an hour if we don't like it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Thank you to listening audience. Continue to like and share this video. I am your host, Teresa Von Paris. On behalf of my co-host, who wasn't here with us today, Nicole Swazi, we want to say thank you for being with us and join us again next Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Mr. Daley, thank you so much. You guys can stay while we play this outro and let's chit chat. Okay? Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.